$36 million secret revealed. Barack Obama often claimed that his administration was the most transparent one that this country has seen in decades. However, something was just revealed that confirms this could not have been further from the truth. Conservative Journal reported that it was just revealed that Obama spent a record $36.2 million of taxpayer money in legal fees to try and hide things from the press and from the American people. Thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, Obama should have turned over various records when he was asked to. However, he instead spent years and millions of dollars continuing to deny knowing the whereabouts of whatever was in question. It's been confirmed that of the $36.2 million the Justice Department accounted for $12 million, the Homeland Security Department for $6.3 million and the Pentagon for $4.8 million. Though Obama's White House claimed to be the most transparent administration in history, it was in no rush to respond to the 788,769 requests for files and were not concerned with the $478 million they paid staff to answer them. In a staggering 77% of the requests under President Obama's administration, the public received censored files or nothing at all. This proves once and for all that Obama was anything but transparent. Share this story if you agree Obama was the most conniving and corrupt president. Exposed Republican Delta employee informed that Ann Coulter was targeted on purpose in Seat Fiasco. Ann Coulter, a famous rightist, is not backing down in the fight against Delta. The airline company gave the seat she had booked and paid for to another person. Coulter, 6 feet tall, paid additional $30 for an extra legroom seat, but could not seat there. According to the Gateway pundit, Ann Coulter destroyed Delta Airlines this weekend as the staff changed her booked seat, and another passenger got it. As Coulter mentioned, the person who was sitting on her seat was neither old, sick, nor a kid. Does this have a political background? Coulter stated that as she asked for the reason of not being able to sit on the pre-booked seat, the flight attendant answered, "I don't know." She then took Coulter's ticket from her hands and told her to move without explaining anything. Ann Coulter took to her Twitter account to express her disappointment in Delta Airlines, sending out several tweets slamming the poor customer service. She even tweeted out a picture of the woman who was given her seat. "Why are you taking me out of the extra room seat I specifically booked, at Delta?" Flight attendant, "I don't know." pic.twitter.com/a0m1fascsmu, Ann Coulter, at Ann Coulter, July 15, 2017. A Delta didn't give my extra room seat to an air marshal or tall person. Here's the woman given my pre-booked seat, pic.twitter.com/idenbatesksod, Ann Coulter, at Ann Coulter, July 15, 2017. Hey at Delta, you mind telling me why it was an emergency to move someone else into the seat I had carefully chosen in advance and booked? Ann Coulter, at Ann Coulter, July 15, 2017. Many have speculated Coulter's purchase was not honored by Delta Airlines due to her politics. Today, the conservative star tweeted out a text from a Republican Delta employee, saying Ann was targeted on purpose. Beware of that, Delta Republicans. Texts from a flight attendant, "It was political." At Delta still won't give a reason. pic.twitter.com/tcxb2dapa0, Ann Coulter, at Ann Coulter, July 18, 2017. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. John McCain just got the worst news of his life today. Nobody saw this coming. Doctors have now warned that Senator John McCain's eye surgery is more serious than we thought. Mitch McConnell delayed the healthcare vote after news came out that McCain had a surgery to remove a blood clot above his eye. Now, we finally understand why McCain was asking such bizarre questions in the video below. McCain has been blaming his episodes on increasingly suspect things. He blamed the following video on the fact that he stayed up late to watch baseball, says the Global News. According to the New York Times, McCain sent a statement out on Saturday that said that he would be recovering in Arizona for much longer than previously expected. McCain's office said that the 2-inch blood clot was removed from above his left eye during a minimally invasive craniotomy with an eyebrow incision at the Mayo Clinic Hospital in Phoenix after doctors spotted it during a routine annual physical. McCain's communication director, Julie Turallo, says there is no other information available. A craniotomy is an opening in the skull. Usually, a blood clot in this area would be a very concerning issue, said Dr. Nirupin Baxi, an assistant professor of neurosurgery at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City. Share this if you hope that McCain recovers. He's might be a fake Republican, but he is a real human. Prayers for his recovery. Thanks for reading. Ben Carson makes huge announcement and shocks the whole nation. Ben Carson is known as the one who boosts confidence, whose personality is very powerful. His intelligence allows him to be amazing in any job he does. Recently, he is acting Secretary of the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Department. As he was serving, he discovered a welfare law which has been present for some 50 years. The law is to give the chance to low-income U.S. citizens to work for HUD in the local areas they come from. That implies that constructors who cooperate with HUD on building projects will have to employ local, low-income people in their communities, at the same time supporting those people and putting money into their local economies. Carson said, "It's not how many people we can get into public housing. It's how many people we can get out of it. We're going to put much more emphasis on Section 3, which requires HUD builders to use low-income residents as employees during the construction of these various developments and in the redevelopment of places." He continued explaining that people have forgotten about this law, which is apparently really helpful. It's largely ignored right now. We're going to change that by emphasizing it in a different way and incentivizing people to use it. Most major construction and reconstruction projects are known about well more than a year in advance. If you know that already, why not prepare the people, begin to train the people, ahead of time, so that when you're ready to do it, you have the workforce that's necessary. Source: http://www.westernjournalism.com. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predict. Nancy Pelosi humiliates herself during bizarre press conference. Many have been calling for House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi to step down in recent weeks after a series of bizarre appearances have called her mental state into question. Though Pelosi claims that she is fine, she fueled rumors that she is mentally ill once again when she made a humiliating mistake during a press conference on Tuesday. The Washington Free Beacon reported that Pelosi was attempting to give a history lesson on the 56 men who signed the U.S. Declaration of Independence, but she instead ended up reading a piece that had previously been proven to contain several inaccuracies. Pelosi was appearing at an event held by Democratic lawmakers to talk about the Democrats for Democracy reform legislative package and With the People campaign, which is a so-called task force aimed at reforming government to ensure it works for all Americans. The House Minority Leader stood up during the event and read The Price They Paid, which was a popular essay circulating around the internet on Independence Day. The essay details the fates of those who signed the Declaration of Independence, but according to the fact-checkers at Snopes, many of its details are inaccurate. Pelosi read the piece after her fellow Democrats discussed how the establishment of the U.S. system of government was breaking from monarchical rule, under which rulers often acted in their own self-interest and not for the people. It's July. We came back from the 4th of July celebration and I saw this article, Pelosi said before reading the article that inaccurately describes the fates of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence. When she had finished, Pelosi asked the audience to ponder the sacrifices so many people made at the start of our country. Understand what our responsibility is to protect what so many people sacrificed so much to achieve for our country, Pelosi said. No wonder Democrats are desperate for Pelosi to step down. Daily Mail reported that New York Democratic Representative Kathleen Rice is leading the calls for Pelosi to resign. We need leadership change. It's time for Nancy Pelosi to go, and the entire leadership team, Rice said. Massachusetts Democratic Representative Seth Moulton agreed with Rice. "It's clear that, I think, across the board in the Democratic Party we need new leadership. It's time for a new generation of leadership in the party," he said. Share this story if you think Nancy Pelosi has lost height.